Every couple of weeks we catch up with the crew from the Canny Group. Canny Group, they're a group of services that include accountants, legal, financial advice, pretty much anything really, business development advice, everything to do with your business and your own personal wealth. Steve Reynolds has joined us from the Canny Group. Steve, you're a financial advisor, so that pretty much covers the Canny Group, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, today we're talking about people who are on pensions and their relationship with Centrelink. And can I just say, this is like jumping headfirst into a quagmire.
Absolutely. So Centrelink have changed how they want to receive their customers now. So gone are the days where you can go in and see them and hand over some paperwork. I actually had a client yesterday who I'd spent an hour preparing their claim paperwork for, only for them to be told that Centrelink don't accept paperwork anymore. So they're trying to push everyone to MyGov and online, and it's hard to talk to a lady who's 67, doesn't have a mobile phone, doesn't have an email address or a computer or anything, that's now what she needs to go out and learn.
That's nearly impossible. And I think about my mum, she's not with us anymore, but there is no way she could have personally navigated that kind of system. So obviously you guys are there to help, but what are some of the things we should be thinking about in this space?
Well, seeking advice always helps because with Centrelink, the average hold time is about 40 minutes. So you could sit on the phone and then be pushed from department to department. And that's why at Canny we've kind of created a service now that we can help our clients where they can name us as their nominee and we can then look after their Centrelink needs.
It's interesting. I was listening to some people have a conversation around something very similar to this the other day, and a woman had gotten help doing all of her Centrelink stuff and whatnot, and she said it was not only was it money well spent, she'd spent it 10 times over for the lack of stress and hassle that it caused her, and she ended up with a much better outcome than she had thought. And I think that's something that we need to take into consideration as well.
Yeah, correct, because depending on how you're structured, there are things that you can alter about your financial situation. If spouses are different ages, for example, you can put some money in a superannuation, and that's sheltered from a Centrelink point of view for people under age pension age. So that could improve the entitlement. So just little tips and little things like that people don't necessarily know about, and Centrelink won't tell them.
No, well, that's exactly right. They're not going to tell them because it's not within the interest of Centrelink to do that.
Correct, and that's if they get to speak to them in the first place.
Well, of course. This is an area that's only going to get bigger and bigger as we as a population are ageing. And I don't know that it even matters that, say, somebody like me who is quite computer literate, I don't think it necessarily matters that I'm computer literate. The fact is there are still things that I am not going to know about what the government has on offer or what's available to me. I'd have to seek advice. I think it's pretty much a service everyone really needs.
Correct.
Yeah, wow.
And it's especially important when the clients get older and move into the aged care space because the aged care homes tend not to talk with Centrelink in a fluid motion, in that if you...
Yeah, well, the point is they're operating in silos.
Yes.
And so it's not like they're talking to each other. So you really need someone to navigate that space for you as well.
Correct.
Look, this I couldn't recommend it more highly, that if this is you're in a situation where you need to deal with Centrelink and it's becoming a bit confusing for you, just get along. Look, Stephen's there. He'll help you out. You know all about it, don't you? Oh,
yeah, correct.
Somebody's working in the studio. That's all right. Must mean it's time for us to wrap up. Stephen, if anyone wants to get in touch with the Canny Group, if you are computer literate, just Google it. The Canny Group, very easy to find though, and make sure that you make an appointment because you just never know what you might be missing out on.
Correct.
Thanks, Stephen.